While the current actors behind WCry are unknown, it is the second iteration of a ransomware known as WannaCry and Decrypt0r that was spotted in February 2017, asking victims to pay 0.1 bitcoins for their files to be decrypted. This ransomware is possible due to a vulnerability that was disclosed publicly by a group known as the Shadow Brokers, that stated it was a known vulnerability that the National Security Agency in the United States were aware of for some time. They referred to this vulnerability that allowed the ransomware to spread as ETERNALBLUE, an SMB version 2 exploit. While the Shadow Brokers released this vulnerability, it is unlikely that they are connected to the ransomware, and instead it is more probable that it is connected to an opportunistic hacking group. A patch has existed since March 14, 2017 for the ETERNALBLUE vulnerability, labelled MS17-010. WCry is also referred to as WannaCry and Wana Decrypt0r, is a piece of ransomware that propagates from infected machines after scanning over TCP port 445. Before leveraging ETERNALBLUE for the initial exploitation, WCry first scans accessible hosts for the presence of WPULSAR, a persistent backdoor. If it does not spot the backdoor, it will use the ETERNALBLUE SMB vulnerability. This causes the worm-like activity as it spreads from host to host. At the moment, one of the confirmed initial infection vectors for the ransomware is the usage of the ETERNALBLUE exploit directly on hosts, which have SMB directly exposed to the internet. The author of MalwareTech.com, soon after analysing the ransomware, discovered that the ransomware routinely tried to communicate with a pseudo-random website. Soon after realising this, he registered the domain as a sinkhole. Quote, "Upon running the sample in my analysis environment, I instantly noticed it queried an unregistered domain, which I promptly registered." End quote. After the website was registered, it was then discovered that if the ransomware could communicate with the host name, it would exit. But until the name was registered, it continued to execute as normal. This is referred to as a kill switch domain. That being the case, however, a simple change to the ransomware code would allow this to be circumvented and for it to continue to propagate. Some of the largest organisations infected include Telefónica in Spain, the National Health Service in the UK, and FedEx in the US. After registering the URL above, it was possible to view the host that attempted to communicate with the server. The author of MalwareTech.com has set up a live feed of this data. Analysts began seeing scans against honeypots at around 5 AM on May 12, 2017, with Cisco Umbrella researchers observing requests starting at around 7:25 AM UTC. While the exact motive of the WCry attack is unknown, ransomware as a whole is a profitable venture. The ransom is $300, with 3 days to pay before it doubles to $600. Finally, after 7 days, the files are deleted. It also states on the ransomware note, quote, "We will have free events for users who are so poor that they cannot pay in 6 months, end quote. There are reference to free Bitcoin addresses in the ransomware, which at the time of writing reached over $23,000.